Aka hauls heavy timber through the dense jungle. He splits the wood with sharp, rhythmic strikes and feeds the stone fire, building essential warmth against the encroaching night ahead. Back at the cabin, Aiken meticulously prepares provisions. He butchers fresh game into manageable portions, binding each piece for the smoking process. After tending to the embers, he rewards his loyal hounds with scraps, savoring a piece of the smoked meat himself. He watches as day fades into a tranquil evening. Morning brings a sudden disruption to the peaceful routine. Aka notices a lethargic chick, its diminished appetite signaling a potential health crisis. He gently examines the fragile creature, diagnosing the ailment before preparing a precise dosage of medicinal powder. Dissolving the remedy into water, he coaxes the flock to drink, ensuring the vulnerable member receives the life-saving treatment it desperately needs. The remedy works. Seeing the chick's drink brings visible relief to Aka, his shoulders his heavy basket, leaving the hut for the deep forest. Navigating dense vines and bamboo. Boo, he moves with the ease of a seasoned woodsman, shifting from caretaker to forager in the wild. Deep within the thicket, a towering bark-stripped dead tree stands as the ultimate prize for his expedition. Aka wields his machete with relentless force, sending splinters flying as he carves a deep cavity into the stubborn trunk. Pausing only to assess the hollowed interior, he resumes his grueling assault, extracting the dry wood essential for his survival in this harsh and unforgiving wilderness. Transitioning to the water's edge, Aka submerges himself in the crystal-clear stream, meticulously signed through a submerged colossal log that blocks his path. With the cut finally complete, he engages his core muscle, straining violently against the stubborn suction of the mud to drag the massive timber from the water's tight grip. Hoisting the immense weight onto his shoulder, he carefully adjusts his stance, bearing the heavy burden with unwavering determination and focus. Back at the homestead, while the chicks forage peacefully, Aka engages in the grueling task of processing his timber haul. The manual saw bites into the dry grain, producing a steady cascade of fine sawdust with every rhythmic pull. As the cut nears completion, he abandons the tool, using the raw momentum of the wood against the hard earth to snap the final fibers apart. The labor continues unabated. Aka's focus remains unbroken as the saw slices through another dense section of the timber. Wiping the sweat from his brow, he stretches his aching back, finding solace in the tangible progress of his work. Gathering the freshly severed logs, he transports them to the outdoor stone fire pit, where a nascent flame awaits his offering. The heat radiates steadily, promising warmth against the coming chill. The fire roars to life, its bright flames licking at the thick, heavy logs inside the quiet cabin. Aka moves a massive blue basin of fresh pork to the wooden steps, beginning the long preservation work. His blade cuts with lethal precision, separating thick layers of fat and skin into uniform strips. He handles complex parts too, carefully finding gaps to separate bone from meat. Finally, he pierces the tough rind with a thin golden bamboo strip, creating a secure anchor for the impending smoke. The binding process demands absolute precision. Aka weaves the bamboo strips with practiced agility, pulling the nuts top to ensure the heavy cuts will not slip during the curing phase. His pace accelerates as he tackles the day's heaviest challenge, wrapping the thickest strips around a massive pork knuckle with solemn dedication. The stark contrast between the pale meat and dark wood highlights his efficiency, laden with the prepared bounty and a woven basket. He descends the mossy stone path, moving steadily toward the smoking racks to begin the long transformation of flavor. The bamboo pools soon bear a vibrant crimson harvest. Sunlight filters through the canopy, illuminating the hanging meat as Aka meticulously tests each knot, guaranteeing structural integrity against the weight and heat. Satisfied with the arrangement, he returns to his workstation, his blade once again rising and falling to possess the remaining. Cuts into perfect strips for the upcoming smoking process in the wooden racks. The focus shifts to the art of seasoning. Aka reduces the remaining pork to uniform cubes, the rhythmic chopping echoing the heartbeat of the wilderness. He introduces coarse salt and grain powder into the mix, his hands plunging into the basin to knead the ingredients with relentless pressure. This vigorous massage ensures every fiber absorbs the curing agents, transforming raw meat into a deeply flavored delicacy. The most intricate phase begins. Aka slips the delicate casing over a bamboo funnel, feeding the seasoned meat downward with the steady rhythmic thrust of his thumb. The once shriveled intestine gradually expands, coiling into the basin in a mesmerizing serpentine rhythm that seems almost alive with the gentle pull of the funnel. The stuffed casing slides smoothly into place, forming a perfect continuous spiral of culinary potential within the vessel. The stuffing reaches its conclusion. Aka withdraws the funnel, revealing a basin filled with plump, tightly packed sausages. Extracting a slender bamboo strip, he identifies the natural nodes, his fingers dancing in a rapid, complex, knot-tying sequence. To segment the continuous coil, he secures the final end with meticulous care, preventing any leakage during the smoking process, and surveys his magnificent creation with quiet pride. The curing process requires final adjustments seated on the cabin corridor. Aka performs the initial binding on the long coils, his fingers executing flawless traditional weaving technique. The bamboo strip wraps tightly around the casing, compressing the meat into a dense uniform cylinder. He completes the final segment, binding the entire length into a cohesive bundle perfectly structured for optimal air circulation. Aka hoists the bundled sausages onto the horizontal bamboo pole, positioning them among the rows of hanging cured meats. To generate the necessary thick smoke, he uses a long stick to stir the embers, then presses a massive damp log directly onto the flames. This crucial adjustment chokes the fire, replacing open flames with dense smoke essential for preserving the meat. With the preservation secured, the focus returns to immediate sustenance. Aka sits on the cabin floor meticulously packing minced meat into hollowed bamboo chutes, ensuring each cavity is tightly filled. A curious hound watches the procedure, waiting for any dropped morsels. Placing the stuffed chutes into the pot, he feeds the roaring stove, the rising steam soon filling the room with an intoxicating savory aroma. The following day marks the harvest. A chow carefully inspects the rows of hanging smoked meats where sunlight filters through. To highlight their rich cured textures, he selects a prime cut of pork belly and places it upon a wooden board, stripping away the old bindings before slicing through the striking red and white layers. In search of a natural platter, he strides toward a nearby plant, his blade cleanly severing a massive pristine banana leaf to serve as a rustic plate. The feast is laid out. Aka arranges the sliced meat across the broad banana leaf, his rhythmic whistling calls summoning his loyal hounds from the brush. The white-spotted dog approaches first, eagerly sniffing the savory offering, and is soon joined by its yellow companion. He gently strokes the white dog's head, his touch conveying a deep, unspoken bond as the animals devour their rich reward with joyful enthusiasm. The feeding ritual concludes as Aka sounds his final whistle. He watches with a gentle gaze while the dogs diligently lick the remaining meat from the leaves. Shifting his focus to the earth and stove, he lifts the heavy lid, unleashing a dense cloud of white steam that momentarily obscures his face. With precise movements, he uses bamboo chopsticks to retrieve the tender meat stuff. Bamboo shoots from the boiling broth, ranging them neatly within a blue and white porcelain bowl. The final inspection demands absolute certainty. Aka approaches the stone fire pit, his eyes scanning the golden red hue of the hanging pork belly and ribs. He reaches out, inhaling deeply to assess the penetration of the smoky aroma before drawing his knife to slice a thin piece from the edge, placing the sample directly into his mouth. He chews slowly, his expression confirming that the curing process has reached absolute perfection. The harvest is ready for storage. Satisfied with the quality, Akashi's his knife and strides purposefully toward the cabin to prepare the interior. He hoists a massive bundle of smoked meat, the cured fat gleaming in the sunlight, and carries it inside with steady, powerful steps. Inside, he hangs the heavy cuts onto the newly constructed bamboo rack, the dull thud of the meat signaling a successful transfer.